Okay, this lecturate session it is a platform for practicing 3 minutes speech on your own prepared topic, or the advanced stage is you can pick up topic on the spot, that is from the card number. So today I believe you are coming prepared on your own topic. So the format is you will speak for 3 minutes. Someone will keep time for you. 2.5 minutes, a warning will be there, last 30 seconds. And at 3 minutes, the timekeeper will say 3 minutes up. And this is how you practice. Because exactly in SSB, you have to speak 3 minutes. Only thing here, it is a virtual platform. And we are not standing, not even compelling someone to switch on video. It is up to you how comfortable you are. But the larger agenda is you must be able to speak your logical points, introduce the topic, speak, elaborate on it, and conclude well, give opinions, have the confidence of speaking 3 minutes on a topic, and communication skill will improve automatically. And the feel of 3 minutes span is very important. So, Pratik, you are ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can speak little louder. You can, if everything is
Yes,
okay, can
yes,
switch
sir.
on
Am I
camera.
audible now?
Yes, but still it is a low voice.
Okay.
Speak again.
Can I? Am I
Yes.
audible now?
Now okay, now okay. Omkar, keep time. Omkar will prompt you when to start.
Okay, sir. Can I start?
You can start now.
Good evening, everyone. Today, my topic is Naxalism. Naxalism is one of the great major topic today, as it is one of the greatest security threat to India. The term Naxalism first originated in the village in West Bengal, where sign of its first existence were seen. It began in 1960 in the West Bengal and areas near to it as an armed rebellion movement, but now it has converted into a tool to fight against the government. The Naxalites are highly influenced by the Maoist ideology, in though they believe to overpower the state power to capture the state power through a combination of armed insurgency, mass mobilization, and strategic alliance. Now, let's look at some reasons for the increase of Naxalites. The resentment was against everything, let it be the landlords or the Britishers before independence or the ruling government post independence. As the development projects led to their massive displacement and a complete change in their way of living, made them discontented towards the government. The social economic gap. There is a large social economic gap between the mainstream India and the people living in the tribal areas. They remain deprived of the basic facilities and amenities, even the basic education. Lack of education and lack of jobs makes it easier for such a group of people to join such rebellious group. They do not feel belong to the country, and hence the number of Naxalites increases. Now let's look at some steps taken by the Indian government to curb Naxalism. Since independence, the Indian government has been trying hard to make the situation better. Several steps has also been taken, like Greyhounds. Greyhounds is a special team which has been assigned in 1989 uh, to curb Naxalism. One of the biggest operations to deal with the LWE, which is the left-wing extremist, was launched in 2010. It was named Operation Green. It proved to be very useful as it led to a decrease of Naxal affected areas to a large extent. The CRPF, which has been reducing anti-Naxal operations since its formation in 1939. Several policies are also carried out by the government, like relief and rehabilitation policy and aspirational district programs, which basically try to uplift the people living in the tribal areas.
Last 30 seconds.
Even though the Naxal affected area has been reduced to a large scale, still it has a lot of areas where specific improvement is required. Proper works need to be done on the ground level by these community outreach programs, as it is actually a sorry state for our nation to fight against its own people. coordinated role of state and central government has the potential to remove the hatred and animosity from the hearts of these people, which can lead to a peaceful situation to those areas. Thank you.
Good, Pratik. Your content was good. You organized it well, spoke well. Of course, there is some more modification required, some more polishing required. Modulations, confident voice, little bit anxiety was um, sensed, but it will go off with more practice. Firstly, let me know uh, how you organized, whether it was written on sheet, some reference points, or it was in mind.
Sir, I actually have written it long before. I actually planned on speaking about it in offline, but due to my exams, I couldn't attend the offline lectures. So
Okay,
I uh,
got it. Good. If that is so, that is a good practice. And ideally, when you stand in SSB, you stand in front of the group, and GTO is sitting just behind it. You are supposed to look into the eyes of group, scanning through them, engaging them, because there are two ways of communication, verbal and non-verbal. Non-verbal communication is your facial expression, your eye contact, your body gesture, everything. And that is very, very significant way of communication. What you speak is now second part. Content, yes, important. The delivery pattern, the confident voice, and your own conviction, it is transferred to the audience. Never forget that. So, Naxalism is a very important topic, what Pratik has spoken. Pratik highlighted that fighting against own people is something which is very, very difficult. And that is why when in 2008-9, Indian government faced a dilemma where Naxalism was on high note. And that is what a term used by him, which requires must mention LWE, left wing extremism. This was a very, very important terminology which got highlighted especially around 2008 to 10 when it was at peak. 220 districts were covered under this threat. Pashupati in Nepal till Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh, the corridor between these 220 districts, right from eastern UP or Bihar some part, Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, sorry, this Chhattisgarh, then Maharashtra's eastern part, Andhra Pradesh eastern part. 220 districts is not a joke. And in that scenario, some of the jungles were not mapped. And a question came whether we should launch army, regular army. But it cannot be done. You cannot put your army against your own people. If that is so, then you are declaring to the world that we are a disturbed nation. So, call was taken. The internal security forces, that is CRPF, will deal it with, and if required, some support training, if required, that will be rendered by army or regular force. But it is not an easy challenge. If the people are having grievances against own government, they are our own people. We don't want to kill them, but we want to bring them on correct path. They are little misguided. Foreign funding is there. Foreign rocket launchers were found. Foreign help was found in terms of arms, ammunition, material, money. It was found with them. So this was a difficult task. Okay, good, Pratik. You covered it well. Continue practicing more. And that is how your group discussion, interview, group planning exercise, the entire communication revolves around your confidence of speaking. Okay, Omkar, ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Okay. Pratik, you got the hang how to keep time? Just maintain some kind of watch, stopwatch in mobile, or it can
yes, sir.
be generalized also. Okay, you prompt him, and at 2.5 minutes, say last 30 seconds, and at 3 minutes, you can just say time up.
Okay, sir. You can start.
Yes. Recently, we have seen many news in newspaper and our daily life. The 43% of household have tap connection till now. 100% coverage in 6 UT and states. So today's my lecture topic is Jal Jeevan Mission. However, however, 26.39 households have been provided with water connection since the launch of Jal Jeevan Mission in 2019. Jal Jeevan Mission aims to provide state and adequate drinking water through individual household tap connection by 2024 to all the households in the rural area. Mid-year review of implementation of the scheme was held by the Jal, Jal Shakti Ministry, where state program was evaluated. Officials said the evaluation with Himachal Pradesh, the state committed to providing 100% household with tap connection by 2020. The Goa, Telangana, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Puducherry, Dadar Nagar Haveli, Daman Diu, Haryana have provided tap water supply to 100% of the households. However, in the seven state and UTs, less than 25% households have tap water supply. The states are Assam, Rajasthan, Ladakh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh. The households maybe households having water supply uh, is in progress up to 100%. In the mid-year review of implementation of Jal Jeevan Mission, Punjab state provide or achieve the 100% target to provide the tap water connection. According to the data, 77.45% of the total schools and 69.04% of Anganwadi centers have been provided tap water supply. Schools in the 12 state and UTs have 100% tap water connection, while schools in 10 state and UTs and have over 75 tap water connections according to the official data. Jharkhand is the only state with just 17.97% schools have tap water connection. But the but the result is going more and more day by day. So lastly, I want to conclude that we have to locate the state which required boost in tap water connection to make the people's life healthy and more natural in their health. So must provide 100% tap water to all rural school for the better future of India. Thank you.
Good, Omkar. Probably a very polished lecture from you. Good standard. It has come up well. Good content. Once your content is good, your confidence goes up. Okay, and new topic. Nobody had spoken on this topic so far. Jal Jeevan Mission. 2019 it was launched, and imagine our country wants to be a superpower or a nation which has mark in the world. We want to be a $5 trillion economy. But then how it will be signified? Whether only bullet train will signify, or a large Indian army, or Indian Air Force, or Navy, all these things. It is a combination of all. Our living standards have to go up. Our rural area has to come up. Our schools and everything, smart cities have to come up. So the essential part of this index is what kind of oxygen, that is air, and water is available in the country. Drinking water is a key thing because it affects health, especially after COVID. We understood the importance of clean water, clean air, and hereafter the importance will rise further. So we as a nation has to give more importance to good water which is clean, tap water, that is what is this mission is. And all the citizens are to be trained, made aware, they are to be sensible towards all these things which the government wants to push. Government may pump in money, but that money should not go waste. Everyone has to take in part. Everyone has to understand the importance of such mission. When on one hand Swachh Bharat mission is there, it should not be on paper. Similarly, Jal Jeevan mission, it should not be on paper. The participation from people, organizations, institutes, schools, colleges, all types of corporate houses, everyone has to pitch in. Okay, good. Good, Omkar. I'm very happy. Okay. Who is next volunteer?
Sir, can I?
Okay. We'll go with Sanjeevani, then Ganesh. Omkar, keep time.
Yes, sir. Yes, Sanjivani, you can start now.
Okay, good evening to all. Today, my lecture topic is sex education. Sex education is a natural part of life, and it is the only factor which keep life moving from one generation to the next generation. There are many exists about sex and sex education since the birth of humankind. Generally, sex education is defined as a wild program to ensure the knowledge about sex, health, anatomy actively represented. The age of concerned reproductive health and rights. Unfortunately, many countries refuse to include mandatory sex education as a part of their children's circulation because discussing sex in public is a sense of society. Intentionally, sex education is open in most of the countries, except Japan, where sex education is mandatory from age of 10 or 11. Uh, in the late 19th century, the progressive education movement in the way of social hygiene to be included in a circulation of North American school. At that time, knowledge about sex is most formally through at. At that time, knowledge about sex is mostly from school basis sex education. But during the 20th century, children started gaining knowledge from friends and the social media informally, but this information gain of knowledge was incompleted and increasing the rate of pregnancy in western countries after 1960. At present, India is a very regional country. Here Hinduism and Buddhism are two major religions which expose their attitude towards sex to the world. Sexual through come from the Asian time itself. The Asian Hindu books Karma Sutra is considered to the standard work of
Last 30 seconds.
human conclude that this is a good step. Is a step behind in core of children in the country, hoping for a better and the society. Society responsible for a human being. Thank you.
Time up.
Okay, Sanjeevani, little bit network disturbance was there. Good. Very less mistakes now, grammatical mistakes. Very less. Lot of improvement is there, Sanjeevani. Topic of sex education is a taboo in Indian society. Now the generations are coming up. They are talking openly about such things because at serious level you will see such topics, and if you are confident enough to talk on this, that is one message that yes, you are generally confident on any kind of subject. The knowledge about it in Indian society is picking up. Now people are understanding the importance of such education also. Our society is conservative society where just now we are witnessing women empowerment in real sense. Child labor is getting abolished. Such kind of topics are being talked. Now the exposure through internet is so huge. We cannot afford to ignore the awareness, the education on such topics. It is better the youth or the people are educated and there are less mistakes. They are well aware how to handle life, otherwise, there will be mistakes and life is ruined. And that is why the educational curriculum has to accommodate all types of education. Okay, good, Sanjeevani. Ganesh, ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, network is okay. You are able to hear Ganesh.
Yes, sir. I'm
Okay,
audible, sir.
Sanjeevani, keep time.
Yes, sir. Ganesh, you can start.
Good evening, gentlemen. Today, my topic for lecture is ISRO. For the better explanation, I will divide the topic in parts like the history of ISRO, after that, achievements of ISRO, and present some planned missions. Now, first of all, the history of ISRO. The Indian Space Research Organization was established in 1969. Before that, in 1957, the first satellite was launched in the world, which was Sputnik 1. And at that time, Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru has decided that India should also be a part of space research, so that the, in 1962, the nuclear research and space research was started combinedly, and its head was Dr. Homi Jahangir Baba, and space research was get separated in 1963 under Vikram Sarabhai. And on the 15th August of 1969, the ISRO was get separated, and a separate wing was established, and whose name was given as its name was given as Indian Space Research Organization. And in 1975, the ISRO has established its first satellite, and which was known as Aryabhatta, and it was launched with the help of USSR. At that time, our own satellite launch vehicle not available, so that Indian Space Research Organization worked on that, and a satellite launch vehicle was established. And in 1980, our first satellite Rohini 1 was launched under own arrangements. After that, the satellite launch vehicle had not that much ability to carry the weight, so that it was developed, and polar satellite launch vehicle was developed. And in 2008, mission Chandrayaan was launched by ISRO. After that, in 1914, ISRO had launched Mars mission, which was a large achievement for
Last 30
our
seconds.
nation. And India became a first country to launch Mars mission in the first attempt. Now, there are so many achievements has been achieved by ISRO, that is INSAT, which is the Indian National Satellite System is there. After that, IRVNSS, which is a navigation system. And now the ISRO is planning for some missions like Man mission, which is being planned in
Time up.
2024. Thank you.
Okay, Ganesh, good. I think uh, it is just matter of practice. I find your grammar is okay, and English is good. So you can just polish yourself. For the information of all, Ganesh is already serving in Indian Army. He's posted in a unit and doing his job, but he's upgrading himself and will be trying for commissioning. Already we witnessed two of our friends have got commission from Indian Army only. One was Gurjan Saab, another was CP Dubey Saab. So Ganesh is also trying. Good. ISRO is a jewel. ISRO is a pride of nation. After independence, if I have to pinpoint personally what is the greatest achievement of India, that is probably in the field of space. ISRO has really brought us so much of honor and pride at the world level. Maybe our scientists are capable, there is no doubt about it. In every field, it would have been possible. But maybe government initially supported, or the founding fathers, whether it is Vikram Sarabhai and all his colleagues, we can give them credit. But in general, India has done so well, and we are the leaders in future. That is for sure. The biggest achievement is the economic part of it. With minimum budget, we are able to launch such costly affair, and that is our distinguishing factor in the world arena, where other countries, even the countries which are capable of launching satellites, are looking forward and coming to us and for the launch purpose because the cost factor. The way in simple manufacturing sector you see, people are reaching out to China because the manufacturing cost is so low, and that is the reason people go for production in China. All countries. In the space sector, we are able to achieve that, which is remarkable thing. Okay, good. ISRO is a very common topic, and one should know what is going on, which kind of missions are coming, which kind of satellites are being launched, because it has got strategic implication. As simple as that, a nation who is dominating from top of the world, that is from space, satellite wars, will have more control in the world, especially on planet Earth. It is not only now on Earth, it is from the skies. Okay. Okay, good. Who is next? Volunteer?
Sir, may I?
Okay, Kartik. And then we will go to Gaurav. Okay. Ganesh, can you keep time? Ganesh. Or I'll tell
Yes,
someone
sir. Yes,
else.
sir.
You are able to manage?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, you can start.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My topic for today's lecture it is SCO. SCO or Shanghai Cooperation Organization was founded in on 26th April 1996 by under the leadership of China. It has its headquarter in China. Firstly, at the initial stages, this organization was known as Shanghai Five Group. By the name, we can identify that it had five founding members. But in today's condition, it has total eight members, which includes India, Pakistan, Russia, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, uh, and Tajikistan. Also, it has four observer members, which include Afghanistan, Iran, Belarus, and Mongolia. SCO was formed with the aim of boosting mutual security and developing political and economic cooperation between the member countries of SCO. SCO, according to the geopolitics, has its power center in the Asian region, as many of the countries belong to the region of Asia. Recently, SCO has its summit in between 15th to 16th September 2022. The summit was important in its own way, as it was the first summit which was held in person to person after the COVID pandemic. This was the 22nd annual summit of SCO, which was organized and hosted by the country of Uzbekistan. The venue was the Samarkand city of Uzbekistan. Uh, India joined SCO in 2017, and it was the fifth summit to be attended by India. India, with its fleet of diplomats, attended the SCO summit between 15 to 16 September. India had bilateral talks with countries like Russia, Iran, and Uzbekistan. SCO 2020, it is in talks that SCO 2023 maybe under the presidency of India. So it means that India would be hosting the SCO 2023 summit. This was also supported by countries like China, Iran, Uzbekistan, etc. The main highlights of SCO 2022 was that India spoke on the transit rights. India gave the example that during the Afghanistan crisis, India was not able to transport its food grains to Afghanistan because of the transit issue, which was faced by because of Pakistan. Also, India spoke on the topic of better connectivity, which would help in boosting of economic development. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi also spoke on about the topic of making India a manufacturing hub and focusing more on traditional medicines, which the uh, Asia has a rich heritage of, which includes China, India, Pakistan, Russia, Afghanistan, etc. Also, we saw that in India had its this SCO 2020, SCO 2022 has importance. Thank you.
Sorry, sir, I forgot I was writing some
Okay,
material
okay,
and
no issue.
something.
Kartik, well spoken. This topic is important because currently it is in news. Just SCO summit had conducted, and India was a very, very important participant in this. See, such forums are for economic or political or security cooperation. Strategic alliance are set. All these groups gives some kind of indication to the world, whether it is P5 or G8 or then SARC or now SCO, which was already formed by the name Shanghai 5 in 2001. It took the shape of SCO. And what is achieved? Cooperation. But more of symbolic messages are given to through this, because on such forums the premiers or the leaders of the nation meet on sidelines. Like during this summit, people were watching how Russian president meets Indian prime minister, how Chinese premier meets other counterpart, if they are able to talk, communicate, because there are so many issues going on. And that is why these forums are very important. Are they achieving something? Yes, they are achieving, because if there is any problem in the world, like in today's case, Russia Ukraine war is going on, other nations have to say something, control the things, assure each other that peace should exist. But then, sincerity of purpose misses, as it misses on local level, it misses on strategic level also. Country's self interest is more important for any country. So nobody is able to compromise their own interest, and that is why warlike situation is created. Today, China is struggling almost with all borders. India has got mainly China and Pakistan concerned. So is every country. But then such forums are controlling the aggressiveness of any nation. And that is why there are so many cooperative features in such forums where country talk to each other and there is a pressure built up. When European countries meet, they have got their own agenda to push. Asian countries, they have got their own agendas to push. 21st century probably is belonging initially to Asia and then Africa. People are already looking forward to it. Okay, good. Who is next? Nikhil?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kartik, keep time.
Oh, yes, sir.
And next can be Ritik or Vijay, whoever is prepared.
You can start.
Good morning, friends. Today's my lecture topic is BRICS. The term BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, and China, was first coined in 2001 by Goldman Sachs in the context of an exercise to forecast global economic trends over the next half century. As a grouping, BRIC was first convened in September 2006 with a meeting of foreign ministers of four countries in New York on the guidelines of UN General Assembly. Following a consensus assembly amongst the BRICS leaders, South Africa was invited to join the grouping at the third summit in Sanya, China in April 2011. BRIC as a group has demonstrated the shared will and capacity engage with each other as well as with the world community in the seeking sustainable solution to contemporary regional and global challenges and promote global stability and well-being. BRICS bring together five major emerging economics comprising 43% of the world population, having 30% of the world GDP and 70% share in the world trade. BRICS development banks have signed a number of enabling agreements to promote BRICS trade and investment. Since its institutionalization in 2006, BRICS has evolved a number of mechanisms for consultation, coordination, and cooperation. These include summits, meeting of foreign ministers, finance minister, and central bank governor, Agriculture ministers, health minister, science and technology ministers, education minister and national security advisor. All these cooperation mechanisms meet regularly. BRICS countries also consult each other on the margin of other meeting as when required. In addition to cooperating with each other in mutually agree areas, BRICS countries exchange views and consult each other. Each BRICS summit has been an important milestone on the BRICS timeline in its own way. Not, Notably, the fourth summit hosted India in March 2012 was important as it proposed the creation of the new development bank. The five BRIC countries account for nearly 30% the world's land area, 43% of the global population, and 30% of the world GDP. BRICS countries account for 15% of global trade. BRICS countries account for 20% of the global investment flows and are among the fastest growing economic
Last
in the
30
world
seconds.
with great potential. BRIC is seen globally as a grouping whose political interaction could help to alter the shape of the international financial system and the global economy. BRICS member have a thank you.
Okay, Nikhil. Um, don't lose confidence. You always try and sum up the things. Don't get confused. Just have a habit. Okay, okay. Even if you lose on points or you are not able to recollect things, you have to develop a temperament that I will speak little naturally, I will recollect point, and I will organize my thoughts. No problem. But it will happen with practice. Good. I was not expecting this. The other day you were saying I'm finding problems in lecturate, but you have given good lecturate. Only thing my concern is whether you are remembering points or you are referring points, because in actual SSB you will not get anything in your hand. So whenever you are practicing, just develop that habit. Even if you speak for less than 3 minutes, speak naturally. Develop a habit of points in mind, reference points. And it can be for introduction, some reference lines and something. You develop that way without reading something. Okay, Nikhil?
Okay, sir.
Okay, a very important topic of BRICS. Initially, it was only BRIC. South Africa was added later on, the fifth nation. If you see size-wise, population-wise, GDP-wise, these are very, very big nations. As such, Nikhil has highlighted those statistics. Brazil, China, and India. These three are very big markets. World is looking forward for these markets. And in times to come, population in these three nations will be huge. It is growing. China is as such populous. India is going to overtake China. Brazil is going to come very, very rapidly as far as the population goes. Same goes with South Africa. Russia, yes, it's a big nation land wise. So all these nations are important. They have come together, they have formed alliance, and what we were discussing for SEO, similar things is applicable in this also. But the sad part is the real cooperation doesn't happen. If if it would happen, probably war will be avoided. But that is not happening. But then what I already said, every nation will have their own domestic compulsions to push forward their own points. Russia and Ukraine war is a classic example. Both countries have got common history. Religion is same, ethnicity is same, language is same, but still they are fighting. So it is interesting to see what kind of complex relations neighboring countries will have, whether they are originated from same roots or they are enemy nations from long history. India Pakistan, same roots. China India, not same roots. And this is how complex phenomena is there at world level. Okay, now two are remaining, Ritik and Vijay. Who is going to speak?
Sir, I am
Okay, Vijay.
Vijay.
Nikhil, can you keep time?
Today's
Just a moment, Vijay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
yes, sir.
And Ritik, be next.
Good evening, sir. Actually, I this is the first time I'm attending the lecture, and
Okay.
I'm not yet prepared.
Okay, no issue. You can just speak about your introduction, your background,
Yes,
your aspirations, your hobbies. Speak anything. Let us hear your
yes,
confidence.
yes,
And
sure.
then last will be Subodh.
Vijay, you can start.
Yes. Today's I am lecturing. Today's lecturing topic is cybercrime. Cybercrime is a crime that involves a computer and network. The computer may have been used in the commission of a crime, or it may be the target. Cybercrimes may harm someone's security and financial health. There are many privacy concerns surrounding cybercrimes. When confidentially information is intercepted or disclosed lawfully or otherwise internationally, both governmental and non-state actors engage in cybercrime, including financial theft and other cross-border crimes. Cybercrimes crossing international borders and involving the actions of at least one nation state are sometimes referred to as cyber warfare. Warner Buffett described cybercrimes and the number one problem with mankind and poses real risks to humanity. Thank you.
Okay, Vijay, summed it up very fast. No issue. You are just begun. I'm happy. Your confidence is visible. English is good. And whether it is 1 minute, 1.5 minute, 2 minute is secondary. Beginning, confident beginning is very important. So you are started on a good note and
Yes.
come up with different topics. There are already cards like Subodh has sought just a card number. That is an advanced stage where you are ready to speak with very, very spontaneous preparation. 2 to 3 minutes and you are ready to go. So that level one has to come, and that will come with practice, confidence, more knowledge, and more regularity. Okay, Vijay, cyber crime is the thing in today's world. Next 9/11 will be on cyber platform. It will probably not visible yet having the impact of almost collapsing a nation, collapsing a system, collapsing some kind of infrastructure, and that is what is the biggest threat coming up in front of world. So how to tackle it? We need more awareness, more safeguarding, probably lot of systems are to be in place. Two countries may not come together to fight. From a distance, they will fight and yet may finish a country with whom they are fighting in a invisible domain, and that is cyber. We can neutralize enemy nations' networks, government sites. Imagine a bank is neutralized. The impact on that economy. We never know. Some time back, there was some kind of fear and speculation that the power grid network was compromised. There was some virus infusion, injection, and some kind of paralysis in that system happened. If that is so, things are very, very dangerous in coming years. There was speculation that Iran's nuclear power plant had some kind of sabotage activity through cyber network. And that is how every now and then we see that there is some kind of illegal things happening, especially on these network systems. And countries are investing too much to have system in place in case war breaks out to neutralize things at back end. And maybe the machinery will not be able to fight in front. Imagine we are dependent on GPS. GPS is controlled from the US. We are developing our own, but it is not yet full fledged. And GPS is not available to us. How we are going to fight? A lot of systems will be down. Our aviation will be down to some extent. So these are the problems in advanced network world. If internet goes down, half the things are down. If there is no network, banking won't work. A lot of government machineries won't work, and we will be halted. If you take your mind back to COVID phase, the COVID was there, world was stopped, people were confined to their rooms, but we were still able to move with the help of internet. But if internet collapses or the cyber threat is emerging, we don't know what is going to happen. Okay, Ritik, just give introduction, then we'll go to Subodh.
Yes, sir. Firstly, pardon me with my noise because I've got up a cold. So I'll start my introduction. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ritik Prashant Bhadage. I've been born and brought up in Nashik itself. Naturally, my schooling and college have been done through Nashik. I have a family of 5 members, my father, mother, a twin brother, and a sister. And adding some extra information, my father was also ex Air Force, and my sister is currently under training at Air Force Academy. She has also undergone the guidance of Mr. Sonone, sir. And my age is 22 years, 9 months. Talking about my hobbies are reading books, leisure cycling, trekking, and adding about my aspirations. I've always been fascinated about the thought that how great a life would be in the uniform, and that's my main aspiration. Currently, I've cleared my FCAT and CDS exam and looking forward to clear SSB as well. And for that, I've been here to be under the guidance of sir. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, good. Ritik, you are going to walk on the footsteps of Apurva, who is already in AFTC, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
AFTC.
And your father is proud. Daughter is already in
Yes, sir.
academy. Son is also just going out there. And listening to you, probably you're on right track. Confidence is good. English is good. And your communication skills seems to be reasonably good. So just practice different topics. Just accumulate some kind of notes, knowledge, and 10 to 15 topics from the lecturate and GD point of view, and every test you must discuss, and some tests will discuss one to one, some on this platform. As such, you are presently in Nasik, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
all the best, you will surely get through. And you have got two
Thank you, sir.
immediate chances, CDS and APCAT. You cleared it both,
Yes, sir.
and clearing both is not easy. Good, that hurdle you have crossed. Very nice. Okay, Subodh, ready?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll ask someone. Kartik, can you keep time?
Yes, sir. You can start.
Good evening. My lecture topic is role of youth in society. So, talking from the historical point of view, there were many kings at their young stage. They not only motivated the society, but bring the changes in the society. If I give example of that, the first one is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Maharana Pratap, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, Maharaja Ranjit Singh. At the young age, they not only revolutionized the society, but made that we are the one, and we are not under the rule of any kind of external threats, and we have to unite and we have to fight against it. And it creates a lot of motivation in the hearts of that people, and they motivated and they united to fight against the external forces. Now if I talk about the today's youth role in the society, so it is very vast. We know that with the help of the internet, now we can access through a lot of social media accounts, and we can have access to all the other things on the internet. So the one more thing is that if youth gets distracted from its roots, so it will be a very great threat to the nation. Similar thing which is happening in the recent scenarios, that is the hijab case is going on. Then, if I talk about the killings of the Amravati as well as the killings in the Rajasthan, so this creates a lot of resentment, and the Kattarpanthi youth, they are accumulating, and they are simply giving slogans that India will be no more secular. So this should not be happen, because if our youth is on the destructive path, so definitely our country will have to face the problems. Now, if I give the example of the youth organization, that is the NCC, it is the biggest organization in the India, and it is doing a lot of great efforts. Government has also launched a scheme regarding the NCC, and they have signed the MOU with the UNEP. The MOU is regarding to clean up the ocean bodies. So it will also impact the society for the cleanliness, because NCC creates awareness or gives a lot of good thoughts to the society, so that they can improve. Not only that, with the help of the NGOs, with the help of the youths in the NGOs, we can now get rid of the orthodox societies that we have in our culture, that women should not step outside of the house, or they will not get education much, and the male dominated society. So because of the youth force taking participation in that, so we have a lesson, and we have mitigated the all those orthodox thoughts from our society. So if I talk about the further role of the youth in our society building, so the first is that we must go with our country, because country is all about. So first of the biggest thought is we should not fall to prey any kind of political sentiment. So this is the role of the youth to make a society a very uh, in a very correct format. So lastly, I want to conclude that, and according to my opinion, I think that if our youth is motivating, and if our youth is on the constructive path, so definitely our nation will grow, because after all, youth is the biggest working force behind a nation. If our youth gets weakened, if our youth is not paying attention, and if our youth is on the distracting
Time's
path,
up. Time.
so definitely we have to face the serious consequences of it. Thank you.
Okay, good, Subodh. Very random preparation, 3 to 4 minutes preparation time. Considering that, good lecturate. Role of youth in society. In fact, India is very proud to have large number of youth. We always keep boasting about it. We are the youngest. We are having youngest, largest force, because our almost 30-35% population is in that bracket where they are totally enthusiastic. The age is on their side. We have so many working people, and the factor of youth is very very important if any country wants to grow faster. If you see, China with one child policy had missed on for some time that age bracket where we can call that we have got large number of youth, and that is why they have opened again two child policy. So our population is our blessing in disguise, our strength. It is a boon also and bane also. But then there is a flip side to it. If we have so much of potent force, that is youth, and if they are not channelized well, if they get addicted to drugs, if they get addicted to internet, if they get addicted to wrong things or crime, the nation is gone, because our law and order machinery will find it difficult to control youth, because on one side they can be the warriors, but on the other side they can be the destructors. They can be the greatest engineers, they can be greatest doctors, they can be greatest soldiers, but at the same time if they are on not right track, they will be the biggest destructors for society. So this is very important to understand. If every youth understands the responsibility on their shoulder, that nation is looking forward. We are in free India. 75th year Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is going on. You can quote such kind of things which are relevant in today's scenario. When you go to SSB, the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav has got relevance. We are a proud country now. Before 1947, we were at mercy of some nation. Today we are independent. But what about our growth? Our growth, is it up to mark? In some fields, yes. In some fields, no. Who is responsible? No other nation but we, our own people. Is there any division, divisive forces? Yes. Can we break that? Yes. So who will work for it? All of us have to work for it. So youth have to understand that there was a time youth like Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Subhash Chandra Bose, Gandhi ji, Lokmanya Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, They gave their prime years for the freedom fight. Today, our prime age is required for prospering the nation, pushing the nation up, making the mark in world, and that is possible. Our engineers and doctors and scientists are doing it. Our Indian Army is doing it. We have earned respect. But now it is a matter of pushing to $5 trillion economy, pushing to the topper notch. We want to achieve that slot, that we are the best country in the world. We have capability, but we are not yet there. We need to prove it. Okay, good. You all must utilize every opportunity to practice communication, to understand every part of your SSB. Don't waste time. Have your entertainment also. Navratri is going on. Later on, I realized that some of you might be going for Dandiya, but I thought it's okay. Those who will manage will go with them. But have balance of life. Prepare. Not very serious study required. खेलते कूदते हुए study करो. You will pass. Have the confidence intact. Okay. We will end here. Have a good time. Bye. Jai Hind.
Sir, good evening. Sir,
Yes.
actually, I had a doubt that's why I've joined. Sir, I'm really worried of that marking scheme, sir. Does it really, any case you have seen, sir, where someone has not marked the
Vikas, I will
things?
connect one to one. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'm giving a
We
call
will
support.
end here for balance. We will not waste time. Bye. Jai Hind. Keep doing well. Be happy.
Jai Hind.
Change, sir.